Good morning to you all, and happy Wednesday, Thursday. I don't even know what day it is. How about Monday? Happy Monday to you guys. It's really crazy how we lose track of the days with the schedule, with the kids, with work, everything. I know it's really hard right now, but it's where we're at, and we need to adjust and embrace it as much as we can. I wanted to come on this morning. I want to talk about a couple quick things. Nothing too crazy, but I've gotten over the last week since I spoke last with you guys a lot of questions that are coming to me, especially from the buy side, anticipating a market fall off. And what do we think the housing market's going to do? And I touched on it briefly last time. I just want to come back to it for a second. And what I want to talk about, again, briefly, is something I was thinking about this morning, and why I wanted to come on was we're in a very unique situation. This is not like 2008 to 2010 where there was a big financial crisis with the banks and everything. And we've talked about this. And I think those people that are curious about what the housing market's going to do need to take a look at a couple different things. And I think this is very important. Is what is creating this crisis that we're in right now, and is what is going to be the long-term effect of it. And I think without getting into too in-depth on the situation, which is going to come back to the housing prices, I think that what we need to realize is that, God willing, this is going to be a short-lived situation. This is such I don't even know the word for it, an incredible situation that's come up, surprised everybody, and it's drawn the markets back so much. But we're in a situation right now, and where I'm going with this is, it's going to be, in my opinion, very short-lived. And here's what I'm seeing from my side, and what I believe is what you're seeing right now is everybody is sitting on their hands thinking the same thing. Everybody's sitting on their hands thinking there's going to be some sort of correction in the housing market, whether it's 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever the numbers would be. And everybody's kind of waiting. Yes, there's been a lot of changes, and I want to touch on that with the housing market. And what even as realtors we can do regarding showings and open houses and all that. So it's put a stall on the market. But here's the question you have to ask yourself. Is this occurrence from the long term going to have the same effect on families and things like that have happened back in the 2008 crisis and so forth? And I personally think that the answer is no. I think a lot of layoffs. I've talked to people in human resources. I think that you're going to see companies jump right back in, rehiring their people that they've laid off. And I think what I'm getting at is I think you're going to have this elastic band rebound that people just are not prepared for. And I want you guys to be prepared for this. And whether the market and the housing market pulls back 5 or 10%, ask yourself this. If you have 100 buyers and they're all thinking the same thing, and they're all sitting on their hands right now waiting for a rebound, what happens in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months, whatever it is? And I want to be optimistic. Let's say in weeks from now, things show promise. What's going to happen? We call it the floodgates opening, don't we? And that is going to create what I would think is going to be, no matter what the housing market does short term, a quick rebound. People are going to want to take advantage of interest rates being low. People are going to want to take advantage of the fact that there might be some inventory that they've been interested in. And I think a lot of people are going to see opportunities slip right through their hands, especially since they're not prepared. So I want to touch base on that. And so the first part of this little segment that I want to explain to you guys is that don't be part of the herd. If you're interested in being a buyer or a seller, you should already be planning your activity, be in front of the curve, okay? And that's with anything you do in life. You always want to be in front of a curve. So if you are a buyer and there's plenty of people, Palm Beach County and all of Florida, but Palm Beach County specifically, where I lived, and I've been in Palm Beach County since 1992, has grown so incredibly. The population, how much has come in, the economy down here, everything about it statistically has been incredibly strong. I can't see something changing that, whether it's a 3 or 6 month, situation that's been going on for 30 years or however long. It's not going to, will it have a little bit of a glitch in it? Sure. But in that glitch, what kind of opportunity is really going to be provided? The housing market prices came down so significantly back in 2008 and 10 because of the financial crisis, because there was a purpose for it. People are laid off, yes, people are not working, people are taking care of their kids, and we're in the middle of it. Bernie and I mean, we have 3 6-year-olds that every morning at 9 o'clock, we're homeschooling and trying to figure this out and pulling our hair out a little bit. It's challenging. But when this turns around, are you prepared? And I want to lead in with that and make sure. I was talking to a couple buyers over the weekend, and the people are not even checking on, they're in the market to buy, through summertime or before school starts again or whatever it is, and they put everything on delay. They don't need to get pre-qualified now. They don't need to talk to lenders. Let's just wait and see. But what's going to happen when if the market does a quick flip on you? And let's say it pulls back 5%, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, things are good, I'm back to my work again. And I can't tell you guys how fast. It's a blink of an eye when rebounds happen. And everybody says the same thing. I wish I did this. I wish I did that. I wish I prepared. Oh, all I had to do was talk to a lender. I knew the area I wanted to live. There's so many different aspects of this that I think people are going to miss out on because they're not preparing. And that leads me into, we're here for you. We're here to help you prepare. We have lenders that we use that are there for you. We have the professionals to help you. I don't care whether it's commercial, whether it's, you're selling, you're buying, whatever side of it. If you're in that market and you're curious about it, do your homework now. Now is a time when you're sitting home and watching Netflix is to be doing your homework if you are in that market. Not just following the herd because everybody thinks the stock market or the housing market is going to pull back so much. Don't be like everybody else. Some of the smartest people in the world, Peter Lynch, who runs John Templeton, the funds, Warren Buffett. You know what these guys buy? You know why they're so smart? They buy during maximum pessimism. Okay, I haven't made that up. Okay, that's something I pulled from a book. Okay, so I don't think I've coined this phrase. But right now, if you're in that market, make sure you're talking to a lender. Make sure you're pre-qualified. There's nothing wrong with figuring out where you need to be financially. Yes, you could even throw situations, let's say you're laid off. Talk to your lender and say, listen, I was making this. I'm laid off temporarily. I think I'll get my job back. So when you do get your job back, see if there's some, lenience that lenders are giving. We don't know that yet until it happens. What happens if you didn't look and they gave you 3 months of lenience during this time? We don't know how it's going to play out. Prepare yourself. On the other side, Bernie and I do this full time. We're working. If you guys are in the market looking and wanting to sell, we're still at work. Virtually, but we're still at work. We don't need to go walk into 10 different houses right now and have you feel the countertops or open and close the doors. We have pictures. There's virtual tours being set up on the MLS. Get to know the areas you want to be in. One of the first comments I get almost every single time from a buyer is, I want to be in a good area. Okay, well, I don't know what a good area is to you guys, and nor does Bernie. So how do we figure that out? We figure that out by sending you different areas, property-wise, and you narrow it down. You like the shopping, you like the crossroads of, between Military and Jog and Forest Hill and Lake Worth, and you figure out what is a good area to you. Maybe it's because of schools and there's statistics, but this is the time to do our homework. We're here, we're at our computers ready to start giving you guys information. So when that switch is ready and when you're ready, you click it on and you say, I already know exactly where I want to be. There are these 3, communities that I really love. I've been doing a lot of homework on it. Let's get to work. I've already talked to my lender. I got a pre-qualification letter. And you're ready and you could beat that curve. Guys, stay ahead of the curve. Trust me. Lastly, I want to say to you guys, and this is, dear to me, is This is not easy, what we're going through as a family, as parents, as employers, employees. I can't imagine. I mean, we always think, in a little tunnel, okay? Think about, I know it's hard for us and a lot of people that are laid off and have no idea. Utilize resources. I did something the other day and I posted it on our community website. There are resources out there, guys. There's food resources for your kids. You know how hard, even mentally thinking about what your kids are going to have for lunch. There's schools locally that are giving, food to the kids, during this time. Make sure you're utilizing resources. I see people posting about $10 veggie boxes and stuff. Be in your communities, be involved, see what's out there for you guys. There's nothing wrong with times like this that you get hit with that you're not expecting, to look for help in different ways. And I remember a story, and I'm not going to give names, but we always think, things are better, when they're not with us. And right now everybody's like, I can't wait for the kids to go back to school, or I can't wait to get back to work. Guys, all I can tell you is cherish this time. Sometimes there's so many different curveballs I could throw at you guys about what we're going through and the positivity of it, from everything from our environment. And if you show pictures of, how the environment actually is looking different because, the pollution's down, and how people are home right now and actually spending quality time with their families. And actually trying to find things to do and doing projects. I'm doing projects with my kids every day in between things too. I mean, I could just tell you, cherish this time, guys, because it changes and it moves right away. When we, over the last 5-6 years, as you know, we kind of lived in a bubble for the first few years with my son, because of his condition. And I remember, Bernie was talking to one of our nurses that helped take care of us, and she has grown kids. And I remember, it was a tough time for us because we were in a bubble. We didn't hang around with any friends or anything. And all that person would say man, I would give anything back, including my job, to have time to spend with my kids again and redo it. And I don't think we realize until, we look back at things, the value. There was an incredible thing Steve Jobs did from Apple, who's billionaire, obviously a lot of people look at him as one of the most successful business people. And on his dying bed, he talked about the same thing. All the money in the world he had, everything, all the power in the world he had. And guess what? At the end of it all, he wished he had more time with his kids, with his family. Guys, cherish this time. It's important. There's a reason for this happening. Be prepared for whatever you want to do in life, whether it's you're trying to start a new career. Be prepared, read about it, look at the competition, look at the computers, do what you need to do, but utilize this time. You know what we do for a living. This is what we do. We do it full time. We're here for you guys. If you're in the market, don't stop picking up the phone. Don't stop, looking at emails. Continue looking at properties and do your homework, because guys, you want to be in front of this curve. Trust me on that. I hope you all have a great week. We'll talk to you guys a little bit later, maybe in the week or next week at some point. Stay safe, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.